Ronan O'Shea here with Indiana wide receivers coach Billy Lynch. And Coach Lynch, the record's where you want it, certainly at 2-0, and they've been tight wins. Now, one thing I keep hearing from the coaching staff and players is that this year's team has a different dynamic than maybe last year's team. And Coach Lynch alluded to this after the win on Saturday, that because of the way this team is put together, they're able to win close games. And maybe a year ago that wouldn't have been the case.
Absolutely. You know, obviously every game you want to go out and beat a team 35-0 or something like that. But in college football today, with the parity across the board, that's not going to happen. So you got to find ways to win in the fourth quarter, and that's something that we talked a whole lot about during fall camp, and showed clips from last year in some games where we had a chance to win in the fourth quarter and didn't get it done. And something that we've talked about this year was the experience of the team, the leadership of the team, the accountability of the team, and all those things, sticking together in the tough times and just playing the next play and playing the next play. And if you do that, a lot of times good things happen for you, and that's what's happened the last 2 weeks.
You've had the opportunity to work with a lot of talented wide receivers. When you first came in, Jaqueen Gilmore was really the go-to guy. Of course, James Hardy progressed to the NFL. Andrew Means is playing minor league baseball. Well, your two sophomores in particular right now, Tana Dawson and DeMarlo Belcher, are making a lot of noise. Two of the best freshmen last year receivers in the history of the school. What's it like working with the two of them?
Well, it's great. It makes my job easy as a coach. The better the players you got, the better coach. The better players you got, the better coach you are. And both those kids are both very talented players, and were talented kids last year as freshmen, but played like freshmen at times. Had some great games and then some bad games. Had some great practices and some bad practices. So the biggest thing that we strive for with them is consistency, and I think as a credit to them, and you can tell how hard they worked in the winter and the spring and the summer. They came out fall camp, and you knew what you were going to get from them every day, and they played very, very well the first two games, and hopefully they can continue their progress.
Not really sure what to say about Mitchell Evans. He came in here, started off as a safety, then went to wide receiver and quarterback, and then on Saturday he played everything, including special teams. At what point did the coaching staff decide this is a guy that we need to get more in tune with the offense and in on more plays? Well,
I certainly think that we realized that very early in his career that he was a football player and we needed him on the field, and that's part of the reason where we put him at safety when we did. We had some depth issues there that first year, and he was able to come in and make a splash, but he really is an offensive guy. He's a guy that you need to get the ball in his hands. Not to say that he can't run down and tackle, because he certainly does that in special teams very well, but he's a guy that we need to get the ball in his hands, and he can do a lot of different things for us, and he has really done a great job. He's such a knowledgeable kid. That's the biggest thing, is that he can handle many different hats, and I think his role will just continue to expand. And then lastly, it's one thing to win at home, it's another thing to take it onto the road. Last year, the team winless away from Memorial Stadium. You've taken part of the home part thus far, winning both games to open the year. 3 of the next 4 on the road, not looking ahead past Akron, but of course one of those games is going to be at Michigan, one of the toughest places in the country. As a coaching staff, how do you prepare this team to get used to not only beating teams, but at the same time beating them away from home? Well, I think, the biggest thing is you got to get prepared for the atmosphere. Obviously, we need to take care of the basic fundamentals of playing football, whether you're at home or on the road, and really so if we can just concentrate on paying attention to detail, doing the little things, and playing the next play, it really shouldn't matter where you play. So that's something that we're really concentrating on, trying to create some distractions out here on the practice field that they're going to encounter on the road, and then just really work on the basic fundamentals so that when it does get haywire on the road, not only are we sticking together, but we're sticking to the basics and executing the fundamentals. All right, well, best of luck this weekend, and one thing that's going to be interesting to watch over the next few years is how these young receivers develop under your guidance. So again, good luck this weekend. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. That's Indiana wide receivers coach Billy Lynch. The Hoosiers at Akron this weekend, trying to improve to 3-0. In Bloomington, I'm Ronan O'Shea for UWire, the College Network.